Hello everyone, I am Dr. Regina Anandi, Assistant Professor, Department of Artificial Intelligence and Data Science. Today we are going to learn about API testing using Postman. In modern web applications, these are divided into front-end and back-end. So these two need to communicate using API. Before connecting the front-end, it is very important to ensure that our back-end APIs are working correctly. Postman is one of the most widely used tools for this particular purpose. By the end of the session, you will understand how to send requests, analyze responses, and test API efficiently. Now let's start with the basic question. What is API testing? API testing is the process of checking whether an API works correctly, returns expected data, handles errors properly. These are the same things. These are the things we need to check randomly. So in simple terms, we are verifying communication between the systems. Why do we need API testing? Because it ensures data accuracy, it helps detect bug early, it improves application performance, it ensures smooth front-end, back-end integration. Without API testing, applications may fail in the real-world usage. So to perform API testing, we use tools such as the most popular tool is Postman. Postman is the software applications that allows us to send HTTP requests, analyze responses, test API easily, and it is widely used by developers and testers. To send a request in Postman, enter the API URL, select the HTTP method, add the headers if it is required, add request body if it is very much needed. Click the send button. Once sent, the server processes the request and returns a response. So next is the body and params. So let's talk about the request body. For post and put request, we send data to the server. So this data usually in JSON format. For example, name, which is John, email, such things. So now let's understand HTTP methods which are very important in API testing. So the main methods are get to retrieve data, post create new data, put update existing data, delete removes data. So each method serves a specific purpose. Testing get request. So get method is used to retrieve data from the server. For example, if we want to get user details, we use get request. It does not modify, it only fetches that information. Then comes the post request. So post method is used to send data to the server. For example, when we create a new account, a new user account, we use post request. So it adds new data to the database. Automated test strips. Now let's see how the Postman actually works. So steps involved are, first thing, open Postman. That's the foremost step. Second, enter API URL. And then select HTTP method. Now let's move on to the real-time case study. So real-time case of a fintech startup deploying a payment API, which is very similar to WhatsApp's like other apps like Google Pay or Phone Pay usage. So before release, the QA team, that is quality assurance team, test all endpoints to ensure that they're working correctly. They also perform security checks like authentication and authorization to protect the user data. And then load testing is done to see if a system can handle thousands of users at once. Only after passing all these tests, API is safely released to the public. So, advantage of using Postman. This is a quick knowledge check. You can answer by seeing the screen. So, some of the advantages of using the Postman: saves time, which is very much needed, easy to learn, no need front end, it helps debugging, supports team collaboration. So that's why it is widely used in the industries. Now, let me quickly summarize today's session. We learned what API testing is, we understood HTTP methods, and we explored Postman tool. We also saw how to test the APIs. So this knowledge is essential for backend development. Thank you so much. Thank you for listening the video.